Rogue One, the Star Wars film no one asked for, but everyone's going to see because Star Wars. It's the first non-saga film to be released, and you'd think I'd be excited for such a bold new take on Star Wars. But after the blatant stupid rehash that was Episode 7, I'm more worried than I am excited. This is going to be the first Star Wars film that begins the decline into Star Wars fatigue. Disney is going to milk this motherfucker for all it's worth until the cow's tits are bone dry. I don't have a problem with making Star Wars inside the saga. I think it's kind of a cool idea. What I don't like is the fact that it's squeezed between episodes 3 and 4. There's no breathing room for originality. You're stuck in the wake of A New Hope. The audience knows what's going to happen. We know that Mary Sue, Jyn, is going to successfully capture the Death Star plans. We know that there will be X-Wings and TIE Fighters. We know that Darth Vader will be in it. Now we're getting into problem territory. If they treat Jyn like they did Rey, and Darth Vader loses a battle to her, I'll be fucking done. I'll bitch up a storm in that theater. There's literally no fucking excuse for that to happen. You tarnish Darth Vader's legacy. Sure, Anakin was a cunt, but when he donned that black suit, he was a badass motherfucker, and no one should make him look weak. If you do have Jyn beat him, you also make Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker look weak. How? Well, Darth Vader defeats Obi-Wan. Yes, Obi-Wan surrenders essentially, but we never know how the battle could have went had they continued. Secondly, you ruin Luke, the main fucking focus of the original trilogy and Star Wars in general. The original trilogy is the journey of Luke Skywalker becoming a Jedi Knight. If we see Vader bested by a non-Jedi, it takes away the impact of Luke's defeat in Empire and Luke's triumph in Return of the Jedi. You also ruin a great character. Darth Vader is unstoppable in A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. He needs that momentum. If you castrate him and make him lose to Mary Sue, Jyn, you ruin the original trilogy. I know that Disney doesn't see the old films making them much money outside of nostalgia, but if you take and ruin Darth Vader, you ruin Star Wars. Furthermore, this film is going to be the most jarring experience in Star Wars history. They're blending real-world martial arts into Star Wars. Why? The Chinese box office, of course. Star Wars has had its own identity before, an identity that I firmly believe made Star Wars a success. But now it's just trying to pander to kids with short attention spans, stupid fan theories, and the international box office. And it's all being done at the expense of Star Wars' integrity. By the end of these anthology films, all credibility built up by the original trilogy will be gone. But here's the real shit kicker. The fans are going to eat it up. They're so desperate to like this film because it's Star Wars, and they can't admit to themselves that something related to their childhoods isn't good. Cramming all these stories into the universe is a terrible fucking idea. You gotta let the natural flow of Star Wars go. We don't need to see every contractor on the Death Star. It worked out just fine when we saw the beginnings of its constructions in Revenge of the Sith, and then we're introduced to it in A New Hope. Eventually we're gonna get to the point where we have a day-by-day account of the going-ons in the Star Wars universe, thanks to Disney. I, for one, can't wait to see what Han Solo had for breakfast the day before he was frozen in carbonite. Did you like this rant? It sure as hell felt good getting this off my chest. I know I'm a little hard on Star Wars, but it used to be a great franchise. The prequels changed that, but they ended on a high note. What I'm trying to say is that the reason Star Wars was so special is because it came out at a certain time in history where there was nothing like it, and we waited a long time between each sequel. Getting Star Wars annually takes all the grandeur out of the saga. It's like tax season now. Good or bad, it happens every year. If you liked this video or agree that Disney is killing Star Wars, click that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. I got a lot to say about Star Wars, rants included. I also gave my honest but unpopular thoughts on the Justice League trailer, so there's that too. If you want to help support the channel, check out incarnate-studios.com. The shirts there help fund the show. We even have a few anti-episode 7 shirts, so if you want to let the world know how you feel, grab one today. This is Jeff of World Class Bullshitter signing out. I miss George Lucas.